What's up, everybody? Courtney Cox here with Doug Kyed, and we're talking all things Patriots with no sports news going on right now, no sports games happening right now. We're lucky that we had a schedule release, so we're going to dive into that. Doug, from my home to yours, how are you feeling?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Courtney?
I'm doing pretty good. A new setup for you and I. We're usually used to being in studio or at Gillette doing stuff like this, but we are going to make it work.
Absolutely. Adjusting as we can.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we kick off the season with the Dolphins at home for this Pats team, a Dolphins team that has a few players that are going to be pretty recognizable for Pats vets.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Kyle Van Noy got added, Elandon Roberts, Ted Karras. They already had a bunch of guys on their roster last year that either came over from the Patriots roster or practice squad. All in all, it's one of the Patriots' easiest opponents. So if you've got a guy like Jarrett Stidham starting at quarterback in 2020, it's about as easy of a matchup as the Patriots can get this season. That being said, the Dolphins should be tougher than they were last season just because of all of those additions I already mentioned.
All right, well, you bring up Jarrett Stidham. Obviously, that's who we're looking at right now under center for the Pats with Tom Brady heading down south, a news story that we have talked about over and over and over again. So let's zone in on Stidham. When we look at defenses that he's going to be facing, when you look at the schedule, who do you think is going to be, the most challenging for a guy who's not used to playing an NFL season as a starter?
Yeah, well, the Patriots are facing three of the tougher defenses from last year. Actually, the Patriots, as far as defensive DVOA is concerned on footballoutsiders.com, the Patriots actually had the best defense in the NFL last year, but the San Francisco 49ers were number 2. They traded away DeForest Buckner, but they added Javon Kinlaw in the draft, so that's kind of a one-for-one swap. Otherwise, the Baltimore Ravens should have a very good defense again this season, and the Buffalo Bills should be tough again this year. And obviously, the Patriots play the Bills, or they're scheduled to play the Bills twice in 2020 because they are a divisional opponent. So this is not going to be an easy schedule for Jarrett Stidham or for the Patriots in general. They actually have the NFL's toughest schedule this season. So, there's no real pushovers on this slate of games. Really, the one that we talked about before, the Miami Dolphins, they might be one of the easier opponents, maybe the Las Vegas Raiders, but otherwise, the Patriots are facing stout defenses and tough opponents in general this year.
Important to note as well that the 49ers coming off a Super Bowl loss, so they are looking to, get back into the swing of things much quicker than everybody else. Now,
Sure.
If you look December 6th and December 10th, the Pats are out west. They take on the Chargers and then the Rams back-to-back, basically. So for a young quarterback to have to travel across the country and then face two teams very close together, do you think that's going to present a challenge for Stidham?
It's probably better than having to do multiple West Coast trips. The Patriots are already going to Seattle early in the season, but I think we all sort of expected either a Seattle and LA game or both of the LA games to be back-to-back. This one is really back-to-back, though, because it's a Sunday game and then a really quick turnaround on a Thursday game. Those games are only 4 days apart, but at least the Patriots will be able to stay out west for that quick turnaround. So, there probably won't be a lot of practicing going on. Usually in a circumstance like this where the Patriots would have to stay out west, they would have to scramble for a facility. You're really only talking about a glorified walkthrough in between these games. So ultimately, it's probably the best the Patriots could do on a long West Coast swing like this. That being said, Chargers and Rams, neither one of those teams are the best teams the Patriots will face this season, but they'll probably be tough. But those West Coast trips are usually a pretty good bonding experience for a team. So it will be late in the year. The Patriots might be kind of getting tired at that point, but at least there won't be multiple flights involved between those games.
Well, when you look at a bye week, week 6 is the Pats bye week. Obviously, this season kind of up in the air with a start date with the coronavirus pandemic. People don't really know when we're going to get sports back. So having a week 6 bye week, how do you feel about that? Do you think that is a positive, or I'm assuming a negative for this Pats squad?
Yeah, I think that it could be a negative, especially if the schedule is pushed back. Say the schedule is pushed back 3 or 4 weeks, and the Patriots bye week is really only in week 2 or 3. That being said, if coronavirus affects, fans being in stadiums this season, that would actually benefit the Patriots because they play Seattle in week 2. They play Kansas City in week 4. Those are the 2 loudest stadiums in the NFL and really probably in all of American sports. So if those stadiums can have no fans, or even if they're half full, a quarter full, that plays to some advantage for the Patriots. I would still probably expect the Patriots to lose those matchups, but at least the crowd noise, you would have to assume at this point, might not be a factor if those stadiums can't be full.
All right. Well, interesting to see how this one plays out. Doug, always such a great time talking with you. Stay safe, stay healthy. We're both staying home. I hope to be able to do this with you very soon in person.
Absolutely. You too.